Alright, it's the same day as the last video for the TJ, but this is going to be a different video here for the XJ. So, as you saw in some of the videos, this is what we took out to Utah June of 22, so earlier this year in June. It's not nearly as built or rock ready, if you will, as the TJ is, but it definitely works for the terrain out there. You know, we did pretty happy with it. So this has a 3-inch rough country lift, which has new leaf springs in the rear and then new coil springs up front with new lower control arms. I do have new upper control arms for it that I'll install later. Actually already have them. They weren't part of the original lift, so I'm going to add that to it. These are 265/70/16 tires, Goodyear Ultra Terrains. They did really well out there. I was happy with it. Aired it down to about 20 psi and it gripped and went everywhere in Moab. At Sand Hollow State Park, different story, had to air down to about 10 to make it all work. Didn't want to go anywhere with 20 psi. These are Moab wheels. That's the name of them. They're Jeep wheels. Could be wrong, but I think they were on like 2003 to 2006 TJs, certain trim levels. Okay, so this is a Smittybilt bumper. Seemed like the best bang for your buck when I bought it. It's a real sturdy bumper. Has reinforcements that go all the way into the unibody, and just trying to reinforce everything up here. And the options for a winch with the factory bumper are pretty small, which is why I went ahead and went with this. Didn't have time to really build anything custom before we went out on this trip, and did end up using the winch just to roll a Jeep back over that was on its back. So you can see that in one of that was the Poison Spider Moab video. Added, this is the Dana 30 high pinion, added the Rough Stuff diff cover, and also added this sector shaft brace like I have on the TJ, different company, but this goes frame rail to frame rail all the way across the bottom to support that. And this has the upgraded track bar, so that way the axle is still centered with the lift. Ended up lifting the back of the hood here when we were in Utah with a kit that allows the back to just be raised up. This allows all the heat to exit a little better. These are JCR sliders that I put on here. They held up really well. I also used the JCR frame stiffeners and attached those to the bottom. Let me see if I can get a good view for you. Kind of dirty under there, but here's the frame stiffeners, and then welded on these sliders to it as well. And then while we're under here, I'll just show you I added skid plates from Skid Row all along the way. These held up really well. Don't have any additional rattles or anything like that. Looks like it did bump one or two along the way, but for the most part, no problems. On the rear, this has the Chrysler 8 1/4, which put the same diff cover on there, and then the swing out Smittybilt tire carrier on the back. Alright, that's all for the Cherokee for now. Pretty simple vehicle. I don't think I would necessarily take this out to the Rubicon just yet. Could probably make it. Probably be a little tough. Might bang it up quite a bit. Maybe someday, maybe if it gets a little bigger. But for now, I'm really content with it just as a Utah rig right now, and plan to use it for easier trails around here and in the snow and whatnot. Has a lot more cargo space than the TJ, which is what we were looking for. That's all. Thanks.